Hello everybody, welcome back to Sty's Cards. I feel like I've been making these videos pretty fast and I think that's super cool. I have a lot of things to show, so I got a lot of content that can keep coming out, so I'm very happy about that. And slowly the subscriber count's going up. I think that's super cool. In the last 3 videos, their views weren't terrible. So I'm going to keep doing this. I enjoy doing it, it's pretty fun. Cool to see the reaction from the 2 people. But yeah, today it's not going to be an overdressed deck profile. It's going to be a deck profile for V Premium, which is probably the format that I play the most out of any of them. When VSS like 07 and 8 came out, I bought just about 4 copies of every card in those sets, and I played like every different deck. That was like the big push that got me back in the Vanguard. And so I bought all those decks, I tried out everything. And the deck that I like the most by far was Beatrice with the Ghosties. I think that deck is so cool. It's just like a combo deck in Vanguard, everybody's favorite. But that was the first time I ever played Grand Blue. I never played it in like G format or before that. And so I finally played Grand Blue and I loved it. That was the deck that I kept playing more of. That was the deck that I currently play in Premium. So I'm going to show off my V Premium deck list for it. I might show off my Premium deck. It's not too impressive. I'm not the biggest into Premium, so I don't know too much. If you see my deck for Premium, it's probably nothing special, but I do really like V Premium. I played a decent amount. I'm going to show you the deck right away. All right, so starting off with the grade 3s. Of course, we play 4 Beatrice. Ride, get a Protect marker. On place anywhere, you get to Soul Blast and call a card from your grave. All your ghosties get a little bigger, and then when a ghostie dies, counterblast 1 and call a ghostie with a grade less than the one that died, so you can even go from 3 to 1. So she's standard. We only want to play 4. We only want to ride her. And then for the other grade 3, just our big hitter. More cards we have engraved, the more powerful he is, and then after he attacks, he dies. So it triggers your Beatrice, which is super cool. Under the grade 2s, I play 4 Columbard because I think Columbard is very good, and you just sometimes need it to accelerate how you play. The counterblast, dump anything, and then call 1 from your drop to rear guard. I think that is very broken. And then for Greed Shade, you know, people have been like cutting the number of Columbard and Greed Shades in their decks, and for me, that is not how I want to go. This card, I feel like a lot safer when I have this in my deck F4. Like if I need to send the Beatrice and then add it, I can reliably do so with Greed Shades. So when he's on place, discard a card from your hand, mill 2, and then pick up a card from your drop. And then during your turn, if your drop is 10 or more cards, it gets plus 5k. So I think he's still very good. And then just 2 of the Jesse. He's just for our combo. Retire 2, call him out, and then when he attacks, he gets 5k, dies at the end of the battle, and then if you didn't already, you get to counterblast 1 with his skill, so it's super cool. I just play 2 just so I don't damage it and then lose access to Jesse. He's very needed in the deck. And then the 1 Ben, get the additional rear guard out, kind of accelerate your plays starting with that. It's very cool to call him out, then kill him with Jesse, and then get your Beatrice skill. So I do think it's a necessary one of. And then onto the grade 1s, I, of course, play the 4 Damien. Damien sets up our grave. He's just another ghostie to go down into. Very important man right here. When it's placed in rear guard or Vanguard, you send a ghostie from your deck to the graveyard. So he's very necessary. Then I play 4 of this new chick, the Sea Strolling Banshee. I personally like it. I like having 2 good grade 1 options to ride into. When it's placed in Vanguard, you send any card from your deck to the grave. It's just another way to like reliably get cards out of your deck early enough. And then after it boosts, you mill 2, and then if you hit a trigger, you draw a card and retire this unit. So you might play 1, you might play none, but I actually really like it at 4. So I played at 4 for those reasons that I have just said. And then I play 3 Dancing Cutlass. I could play 4 of this, but for now I'm just playing 3. Being able to bind one of the other ones from my grave, call it, and then countercharge. This deck is very heavy countercharge, and if you do not kill your opponent in your initial like Beatrice, like swinging and counterblasting, swinging, counterblasting, just keep calling out cards. This card is very important. Just uncounterblast, and then also just get some rear guards back out there. So I like him at 3. 1 of the Necrobone. Really only just playing 1 just because you gotta discard a card, gotta be having in your grave. So you just kind of have to go through a couple of extra hoops just to get it out there. And I think 2 is fine of this card. Just personal preference, I'm just playing 1. And then, I think this is our last grade 1. Yes, it is. The Tommy, they'll look at the top 5 at a grade 3, discard a card. We really need to see our Beatrice. If we don't, we are very sad. And yeah, this is kind of conflicting with the Heal Guardians, I believe that's what they're called, but still, we just have to get to Beatrice. That is most important in this deck, having a Beatrice. So that's for the grade 1s. The triggers, or I guess for the 0s, we have our starter, and then just 1 copy of Chappie. Just being able to like end with the line into Chappie, and Chappie is probably like the biggest attack that they'll see, so he's very important. And then finally, onto our triggers. I'm still playing 2 Rick for our heal lineup, and then 2 of the new one. I think Rick is super important just to be able to climb down everywhere with your ghosties. You just want to have that extra attack. That extra attack can make your opponents, you can make them lose, you can make them have to discard their most important card in their hand just to survive. So I do think Rick is 100% necessary in this deck still. Would I like to play for the same heal? Yes, I would, but we just need another grade 0 ghosty. And then 4 Perfect Guard draw. It's a combo deck. You want to draw what you need to see. Also, we like to Perfect Guard. And then just the rest are crits, just the standard 8 crit lineup. And I did put in all Night Spirits for this deck profile just to make it look a little nicer. It looked cooler to me. So yeah, that is it. And yeah, like I said earlier in the video, this is probably my favorite deck to play, both in Premium and in V Premium. I just think it's so much fun. You get to play some really interesting ways of playing this game, and I really just am a huge fan of this deck. I have been since it came out. And then the only things that I would really want to change are the grade 1 lineup. I think the grade 2s are fine, 3s and my triggers are fine. It's just the ones that I want to mess around with a little bit. Like playing like the 4th Cutlass, maybe. I don't think Skeleton Sea Navigator is too needed anymore, especially with playing the Banshees, being able to mill those extra cards. And then Cutlass also mills, so I think the milling is fine with how we play the deck, what it's looking like right now. And then also just like the 8 cards, just sending anything. And then of course, Columbard. I think that this is pretty okay for being able to set up the cards. So that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed something other than an overdressed deck profile. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a little subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.